I came across a beautiful quote by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, and he says, "The mind and feelings are external, but you take them to be intimate. You believe the world to be objective, while it is entirely a projection of your psyche. That is the basic confusion, and no new explosion will set it right. You have to think yourself out of it. There is no other way." The world is a projection of your psyche. That means we see this world through the lens of our own filters, which is limited. And when we do that, we start perceiving this world to be a certain way. And usually we see it as something evil, something bad, a place where we don't fit in, a place where we don't belong. So, in our immediate environment, we start to fight with things around. We say that this is not right, this does not give me, this environment, this space does not give me the freedom to be creative. I don't like the people around me. I don't like things around me. And I can speak from personal experience that this had been the case with me for a very long time. I used to be so upset with one particular city where I lived, and I wanted to get out of it. And my mind would come up with a lot of things. There's pollution here, there's traffic here. It is not a quote unquote spiritual city. People are not spiritual, this and that. And I contemplated escape many times. And I finally did escape, only to find that I would be surrounded by the same problems, appearing in a different format, but they would be the same. So sometimes I would go to the mountains. Now I did enjoy the mountains, the solitude, the greenery, nature. However, at some point, you do start seeing the same patterns emerging there as well. For example, I would see a lot of construction happening in the mountains, a lot of traffic, chaos, tourists, coming from the plains to escape the heat, playing loud music, and of course, things like things from nature like landslides, disrupting electricity, disrupting food supplies, essentials. So there were different challenges. Even in other cities, they had their own challenges. So the problems never left. And the thing is that they weren't problems as such. My mind was projecting them as problems because the vision was narrow. It was being filtered and distorted by this lens of me, which says that I'm going to be creative, I'm going to be more effective, my life will be better once I have the desired environment set up for me. And from what I find is that there is never an ideal situation There is never an ideal circumstance. We meet all kinds of people here and there. There will never be an ideal community or ideal um, neighbors, you see. So, where is the peace? Where is the possibility of peace? The possibility of peace comes with acceptance of what is. That's when we stop fighting, stop resisting. That's where the ease comes in and the mind settles. So you see, the mind may convince us in the moment about the feeling that we are experiencing. And I will make a very honest admission here that I have many times in the past acted impulsively on what the mind showed me. So I moved away from friendships, I broke relationships. I would spend money compulsively, trying to change things, trying to bring settlement and peace to myself. The issue was that I did not recognize that it is not these external things that need change. The greatest change that was needed was mind turning inwards and seeing what is going on the inside. So in the moment when the emotion shows up, when the anxiousness shows up, it compels the organism to act in a particular way. You may not like something and you may feel like running away from it. But when you run away from something, what you find is that the problems start chasing you. They may change shape. They may present a different face, but the same problem comes, arises into the new situation, new place. Whether it is a new relationship or it is a new location, you carry your mind everywhere. So if there is no change in the psyche, if there is, as Jiddu Krishnamurti would say, no revolution in the psyche, then there is no possibility of peace. The mind will be restless and it will convince us that whatever we have right now is not enough. We need more. We need something better. Now, I do say that, okay, if you want to make your living space better, if you want to choose a particular location, that is fine. But it will never be an ideal place, ideal people, an ideal location. There will be something or the other going on everywhere. So if you want to be creative, be in the now. Because the now gives us the spaciousness, the presence to see that feelings are fickle. They do feel very real in the moment. The emotions have a very strong grip on us. And I completely understand that in the moment, when the emotions are strong, there is no capacity for reasoning. You just cannot reason yourself out of it. So what do? You just stay present to the emotion and see what's going on. That is what Nisargadatta Maharaj says here. Witness the emotions. Witnessing does not involve a personal process. Witnessing is impersonal. You just watch this wave rising up and allow it to fully play in the space of consciousness. It is only when you resist that the wave becomes stronger and grows bigger and causes more and more discomfort. Let the wave subside and then take the decision. So I learned this the hard way, that when the wave is high, the emotional wave, making decisions impulsively is going to cause a lot of regret later on. But when we are calm, when we are in the spaciousness of now, when we are in the presence, when we are using the breath to become aware of body and integrating it with the mind, when we are presence, then we can take decisions, make decisions. And when we make decisions in that state, there is no scope of any regret or any guilt or shame arising later on. Even if things don't work out, you know that the decision was made not out of fear, not out of the restlessness of the moment, but it was a well thought decision. We allowed the wave to subside, we were patient, and then we made that decision. But when we are restless, when we are anxious, and we want to escape, that is where we make impulsive decisions which cost us time, money, sometimes loss of relationships, huge financial losses. So to be in the now is the greatest act of kindness and compassion towards oneself. To be in the presence is your greatest strength.